ask that you just sit back, unwind, drop those shoulders, and allow me to speak to your heart, your soul, your mind, body, and spirit. Let's enjoy this ride. Hello there. So first of all, I have to say thank you so much for everyone who has reached out to me and tell me that you are tuning in. Y'all do not understand. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it, and I need all the encouragement I can get to do this thing. But yeah, we still doing it. We 10 weeks in. Can I get an applause? Yeah. But yeah, so we are officially on episode 10. Yes, yes, yes. And I know some of you guys didn't, start listening till I was on like episode 7 because I was dragging my foot about announcing I have podcasts. But you're here. One of my clients on Facebook, when I commented that, hey, yeah, I started a podcast, by the way. She was like, 7 weeks though? I'm like, yeah, I too suffer from imposter syndrome here and there. It's just a part of life, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we're here. And I also got to thank you guys who reached out about the eczema shea butter. Yes, yes, yes. I was whipping it up in the kitchen yesterday, so I will be contacting you guys about coming to pick it up to the office, or if you need me to mail it out to you. So again, if you are interested in some shea butter to assist with any ailments of the skin, healing the skin properly, I use several different essential oils in a combination, and it provides healing for the skin. All right. So we are officially in the month of May. We made it. Yes, yes, yes. We are 5 months into 2024 and still got time to go. And I just want to encourage anybody who, dragged a little bit at the beginning of the year to get in line. All right. Spring is here. It's beautiful outside. And I have to let you guys know, I've been incorporating, I think I told you guys a couple of weeks back that I was, starting this soft 75. Well, before I started the soft 75, well, I'm lying. I ain't even started for real. So I tip my foot in a little bit, test the water a little bit before I dive all the way in. But anyway, I did hard 75 for a week, right? I'm gonna still apply myself for that, but I did it. And part of hard 75 is working out twice a day. So one of the workouts have to be outside, and it has to be 45 minutes. And for me, I was like, well, I'm just going to be walking. Keep it simple. I can go for a walk. I have a beautiful neighborhood in my work area as well as my home life. So I was like, oh, that's going to be easy. 45 minutes a walk. And let me tell you, I've really been enjoying it, especially because we've been having this unseasonably warm weather. So I've been getting outside and getting my little walk in and listening to an audio book to encourage me. So hopefully the encouragement will be encouraging you as well. Hopefully it will come through me and you can hear it in my voice, and it penetrates your eardrums and go down into that solar plexus and allow you to take action on your desires in life. Now that we're here in May, I have to tell y'all what happened to me the last week of April. So I had an incredible experience last week. Teresa Caputo live experience. Yes, y'all, it was truly an experience. If you're not familiar, Teresa Caputo is a psychic medium, and I had to look it up to see exactly what she considered a psychic medium, or her whole story. But first, let me tell you how I first got introduced to Teresa. So years ago, I saw this lady on TV. She had great personality. I could just look in her eyes and tell oh my goodness, she is just so lively and energized. And come to find out, she was a psychic medium, and her show was Long Island Medium, which aired on TLC from 2011 to 2019. Now she does have a new show on Lifetime called Raising Spirits. But on the show, what she does is just go to the store sometimes, or she had people come to her home and she's giving them psychic medium readings. So I went to her website just to get clarification on how she received her gift, and then I'm going to tell you guys what happened at the experience. So this is Teresa Word. She says, I've been seeing, feeling, and sensing spirits since I was 4 years old. But it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I learned to communicate with souls in heaven. After suffering from debilitating anxiety and trying to manage it on my own, and with a therapist for years, my mom introduced me to a spiritual healer and teacher named Pat Longo. After just one session, she told me that I was suppressing spirit's energy, which caused a lot of my anxiety and helped me learn to channel spirit through my chakras and release it with my words. I began to heal and come into my own. Clients, fans, and the media always ask me to describe how I receive information, and it's hard to put into words because I see, hear, and feel things differently than we do in the physical world. Child, I know all about that. Okay, back to Teresa. Spirit mostly speaks to me through sixth sense. That's what we've been talking about, y'all. Y'all see how everything come together? I just be thanking spirit for like each week. I never know what's going to happen. And I always am on track with things that we've already discussed. All right, back to Teresa again. Y'all know I get sidetracked anyway. When I get information, it feels like strong intuition or recall. Spirit also uses a vocabulary of signs and symbols that they show me during a reading. Over time, I assigned words, phrases, and meaning to certain images. I was shown, and then through trial and error, Spirit helped me add new ones until we created an entire vocabulary for us to work with. I translate my signs and what I feel as best I can, and then deliver the messages. But it's the client's job to interpret how the meaning is significant. It's like piecing together a puzzle and can sometimes sound like guesswork, but spirit speaks a quote unquote another language at another speed and in another dimension. She says, my job's not easy, LOL. And it's not, but it is absolutely beautiful to witness. All right, so let's get down to it. So I first found out, believe it or not, my mom sent me an email that was like for pre-sale tickets, right? And I was shocked, first of all, that she sent it to me, because I remember watching the Long Island Medium at her house one time, and she like kind of gave the side eye, was like, well, be careful with the things that you watch it. And I'm like, yeah, mama, okay. But I was knowing that I have this gift. It's not quite talking to people who done passed over, but I have a gift of interpreting things just by being around somebody. So I was just looking at her like, oh, okay. So anyway, she sent me the email, and immediately I hit up my friends who I knew was into, psychic mediums and stuff, and was like, hey, you interested in going? Let me know. I'm buying this ticket ASAP. 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 Okay. It's not time for a song yet, Harretta. Okay, I just had to get that out. Now that I'm editing, I'm laughing because I'm like, how that song have to hit me like that? Anyway, the song of the day is ASAP by T.I., and that came out in the year 2005. Okay, now back to the story. But anyway, I was like, I'm getting my tickets as soon as possible. Let me know if you in or not. I wasn't delaying, right? So I hit up two of my friends, and just only one of them was like, yeah, I want to go. Cool. I got tickets in the third row, right by the steps. Okay. Because I was like, if anything, I want to see and be a witness of everything that is going on. And of course, I would love to hear from a loved one. So we get there. I see her walking up. I see her tour bus. I'm like, oh my goodness. If you follow me on Instagram, I am Harretta. I am _Harretta on Instagram. You might have caught my story where I was like pointing at the tour bus. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then I took a picture of me in the a boomerang of me sitting down. I was like, okay, I'm close. Well, what caught me off guard is initially the announcer was like, everybody stand up. to salute the flag. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? So a flag comes up on the screen. We all stand up. Some people choose to put their hand over their heart. And I'm like, I'm looking at my friend like, I ain't never. What is going on? This is not a sporting event. By the way, a lot of countries say we are the only country that plays the national anthem before every game. Whew, I always look at athletes and be like, don't they get tired of hearing this song? Okay, that's another place, another time. Back to Teresa. I crack myself up. I hope I'll crack y'all up too. Okay, so we standing up. They playing a rendition of the Star Spangled Banner and everything, and then Teresa comes out. So we apply and she's like, she tells us to sit down already, and she's like, okay, if there's any veterans or any active military in the audience, please stand. So those people stand up, the audience clap for them, and she's like, well, I actually played the national anthem for you guys. That's the reason why it was played. I was like, oh, okay. So she's giving honor and respect to those who fought for the country, which is, yeah, I come from a military family, so I truly appreciate their service, and I hope that you appreciate the service of those who fight for us when it is necessary in our armed forces. So, okay, then she goes on her whole spiel about her gift that I just read to you guys and how it came upon her, and then she explains how the night is going to go. I had no idea. But I thought it might be an opportunity that she just senses spirit and then points to people out there. No, honey. She comes up off the stage within the first 10 minutes. You know, she's like, I know you guys are here looking for your loved ones to communicate with you. I'm sure you got objects and thingamajigs that is related to your loved ones that have passed away, all full in your purse. And, you know, we laughing and she jokes here and there, and it was a good time, you know. So then she comes down into the audience, and immediately front row, she's like, you have a loved one that passed away. Is it your father? And she just goes into this whole thing. And it was just incredible to witness how she's able to connect with the person who's in the audience, but also relay messages from the spirit, because it's kind of like she was having a whole conversation, and you couldn't tell, her face didn't change. So they had cameramen and microphones that was going around the audience with her, and you seriously could not tell that she wasn't present with the person. But I'm like, how is she able? Spirit works in incredible ways, and she says she's been doing it for 20 years, so she's mastered how to go about it. But anyway, she probably was able to, let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to say an average of 10 to 12 people she was able to give messages to out of thousands that were there on this particular day. And of course, I wanted to get chose, but it was like I talked to my loved ones who done passed away on a routine basis, like it ain't nothing to it. We'll talk about that a little later. But it was beautiful to witness, because what I realized is that I did not necessarily need a message as much as some of the people who got it, who received it. One lady, she was suffering for 16 years, lost her son at a very young age in his early 20s. And you could tell she loved him all the way down, like any parent does. But it was just like she has not moved on from that place. And even her talking, she initially, Teresa was really giving her a full read. And I promise you, she was talking to her for at least 30 minutes straight. But it brought so much relief to her. Initially, you could tell she was resistant. She didn't really want to take everything in to a certain degree. Then she started loosening up. And eventually, it was a smile on her face. And his message to her was, Mom, I see the pain that is causing you, and you cannot continue to live like this. There was so much comfort in those words. And Teresa was picking up on stuff that nobody would have had a clue about. It was just incredible to witness. She would just go to an area and say, this one was wild, though. This was towards the end. She was like, so who was decapitated? I said, excuse me? Wow, you feel it. She literally feels what type of death the person went through, and that's the way she's able to connect. Someone in there had committed suicide, someone died of a murder, and she was like, oh, even that message, she was like, justice will be served to the lady who lost a sister. You guys, it truly was an experience. It was entertaining and it was heartfelt. It wasn't heavy, it wasn't dense. There was a lot of laughter in it, honey, because these spirits, they're hilarious. And she talks in a tone that's associated with the loved one, so that they know that it's really them coming through. Oh, anyway, absolutely incredible. Be on the lookout for Teresa Caputo live experience if you ever want to possibly get to talk to your loved one. And if not, you want to see her gift, tune into her show Raising Spirits on Lifetime. I'm acting like she paying me to do a promo for her. Anyway, since we're talking about spirit and everything showing up with Teresa Caputo, how about we discuss different signs that we might receive that our loved ones who have passed away can communicate with us or reassure us. There's several signs that occur, and let's discuss it. All right. Some of these I've definitely been through personally, but I would love to hear feedback from you guys. And also, if you haven't, can you please do me a favor and hit the follow button, whatever podcast you're listening to. And also give me a rating, please. Your girl is growing this thing and I need your support. I really, really need your support. Okay. So I told you guys, I believe on the first or second episode, that my father passed away. I cannot believe it. 20 years ago, he passed away. And ever since then, honey, me and my daddy, we be talking, okay? It brings me so much comfort to receive signs. So when my father first passed away, one of the things that I noticed was electrical phenomena. And what I mean by that is like lights flickering or electronic devices turning on and off, or sometimes people experience television channels just changing randomly, anything like that. That's a form of electronic phenomena. For me, I used to be an on-call nurse. So I'll be out in the middle of the night, and it was so often, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, country roads and shit. And it would happen way too often for it not to be a coincidence. It was just like, come on now, something has happened. And what is that was happening? Street lights would cut off whenever I drove up under them. What in the world? Like, it initially I was like, what is going on? Is this a bad sign? What I had no idea. It was freaking me out until I started searching and realized, I'm like, Daddy, that's you trying to holler at me. Now it happens occasionally, not as often as it did back then, but I was so grateful for that reassurance. So another form of electrical phenomena that might occur is orbs. You might see orbs of light in photographs or whatnot, and some people refer that to possibly being spirit, or even every now and then in the corner of your eye, your peripheral vision, you might see like sparkling or shimmering lights. That very well could be spirit, because this is the thing. Our loved ones, this is my opinion, how about that? When our loved ones pass away, they become a different form of energy, pure energy, and they can attract our attention by manipulating that energy so that we can see those shimmering lights or orbs. And another one that used to occur to me, like I really stopped wearing watches because it was happening so often. Clocks and watches often stop. And sometimes I've heard that it stopped when a loved one passed away and people weren't aware of it. So you might experience some electrical phenomena, and that's your loved one trying to communicate with you. Another thing that might happen is smelling like a familiar scent, smelling a perfume or cologne, or even everyone has like a natural scent that they have, or even a flower, and that there's no physical presence of that scent, but you smell it. It might be your loved one, because our scent is a powerful trigger of memories that we hold on to. So I believe that's sometimes one of the most common ways that a loved one can come about. You like, where did that smell come from? Oh my goodness, I smell just like Nana. That's my favorite girl. Anyway, you might have dreams. Dreams might come. You can get a little visit from your deceased loved one, and they could be vivid and realistic. And it also could give you a message, an important message or insight, or some type of symbolic gift can be given to you at that time. Either way, it's them leaving an impression on our dream state, and they can't necessarily contact us in the physical plane. So sometimes it's easier for them to contact us in a dream state. Also, just like you can smell them, you can feel their presence. Some people can actually feel like a palpable presence that someone is near them, feeling a touch or even hearing a voice, or just feeling like someone is just being close, you know what I'm saying? Or even the temperature in the room might change, or you feel a breeze out of nowhere in a closed room. And you like, wait a minute, ain't no windows open, ain't no air circulation. Why did I just get goosebumps like something was coming over me? Things to make you go. But yeah, it's usually a loved one just messing with you. Okay. Oh, that was funny though. I'm sidetracking real quick. But the woman who was suffering the loss of her son, he said via Teresa, he was like, yeah, I fuck with her all the time, Teresa. He was like, I misplace things all the time. I pick up stuff and move it somewhere. And when she gave that message, when Teresa gave the message to the lady was like, oh my God, yes, absolutely. It's so funny to me. So that's another thing they do, picking up stuff and moving it, or you might find objects that were meaningful to them or meaningful to you, like coins or feathers or even pictures that just disappear and then they reappear. Earrings, keys, rings, different things like that. Happens all the time. One of my favorites that my father does for me is songs. We love the music, right? But it's this one particular song that he was like, hey, Retta, check this out. And it's not even like a huge hit. But I promise you, to this day, 20 years later, honey, I still will randomly hear the song. And I'll be like, hey, daddy, it tickles me pink. Okay, because there's like no way that the DJ is just playing this song at this given moment when I get in the car and it's on. What? Come on now. I love stuff like that. But another thing is I know I have some clients who refer to certain animals when they have like an encounter with a blue jay or a red robin or a butterfly or anything like that. They're like, oh my goodness, that's my auntie who, loved this and she's connecting with me. So that could be possible too. And another one is numbers. Numbers are frequently, you might see their date of birth. I see that often, or of the loved one who passed away, or you see the typical angel numbers, 111, 2121, 1212, 333, things like that. You might see that from your loved one and be able to connect with them on that level too. All in all, it's just a beautiful experience to be able to connect with our loved ones and know that they are just gone from this physical plane, but they're able to contact us and communicate with us in all different ways. We just got to be okay with opening up and recognizing the different signs that they give to us and enjoy it. I really feel like it made grief so much easier for me to be able to connect the dots and get those little things from my father that let me know like, okay, I'm all right. He's still with me. He watching over me, things like that. It really assisted with me being okay with knowing that I wasn't alone. Ooh, I didn't know I was going to get teary, but yeah, it felt great to know that I wasn't alone. That my dad was still going to provide for me, even though he wasn't here in the physical. And I don't think we ever get over the loss of a loved one, but we're able to cope better, you know, because there's not a day I don't think about them. And yeah, okay. Ooh, love you, Daddy. And on that note, I'm out, y'all. Until next time. All right. Peace.